Alright, folks, now I'm going to be bringing you my collection of, showing you my collection of Super Nintendo games I have. I have 25 games for the Super Nintendo as of right now, all of which are divided into 4 different stacks. So, let's get started. Alright, our first one is NHL 94, which of course is a hockey video game, and a lot of people probably don't like sports games, but I like them. It's a pretty cool hockey game. And the original Winnipeg Jets are in this game, so that's pretty cool. Alright, next we've got Madden Football 94, which is a football game. And I did try playing this, not on camera, but off camera, and I couldn't really figure out the controls on this. But it's still a pretty good sports game, particularly if you like football, which I do. Alright, move that aside and move on to the next one here, which is based off the popular PBS game show, Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? Of course, who does not love this game? Yeah, this one, you have to recover various landmarks that have been stolen by Carmen's gang. And then, of course, at the end of the game, you go after Carmen Sandiego herself. So, yeah, it's a pretty fun game. I have played this on my channel, and, yeah, this is definitely a lot of fun. Can't go wrong with this game. Alright, next up is one that's based off a Nickelodeon game show, Nickelodeon Guts. And this one I tried playing on my channel before, and, well, let's just say things did not go that well. I couldn't figure out the controls at all on this game. So, it is still an okay game, but chances of me playing this game on my channel again are pretty much 0. Alright, next up we've got one that's based off a popular movie, and it's Disney's Toy Story. Got Woody and Buzz there on the front there. And this is a pretty cool game. This, of course, is based off the movie. And, of course, it's got Andy's house, Pizza Planet, and Sid's house among the levels in this game. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool game. And then, next up, we've got Super Mario Kart. This, of course, is the debut game of the Mario Kart series, and it is quite a lot of fun. I always enjoy Mario Kart. Although this game is pretty difficult, though. But I've still done pretty good on this game. And I've got all the characters there on the cover with Mario, Luigi, Toad, Peach, Bowser, Koopa Troopa, Yoshi, and Donkey Kong. So there we go. Oh, and I should also mention right now, all the Super Nintendo games I have are officially licensed Super Nintendo games for the North American region. I do not collect reproduction carts, nor do I go after Japanese imports, and i.e. the games that were only released in Japan, because, well, those can get pretty pricey. Alright, that said, we're going to move on to the next game, which is Super Tennis, which is a tennis game. I don't really play tennis myself, but I just have this for the collection. I mean, it's an alright game, but if you ask me, I like Mario Tennis a lot better. Alright, moving on to the next stack here, which is another game based off a popular Disney movie, and it's Disney's Aladdin. Yeah, you've got Aladdin, Abu, and Genie on the label there. And the Genie, of course, being portrayed by Robin Williams. And I have played this on my channel before, and I did alright, but still got a ways to go before I can, before completing this game. Yeah, Mn64 actually, Let's Play this on his channel, so that was pretty cool. And I enjoyed watching that. And then another sports game, Brett Hull Hockey 95. And of course, we got Brett Hull on the cover of the cartridge here. And this was when Brett Hull was playing for the St. Louis Blues. And he was a pretty good hockey player. Yeah. And I've played this game on my channel before, and it's pretty fun. So, yep. There you go. There's Brett Hull Hockey 95. Next, we've got one that's based off a popular board game, and it's Clue. And this game really is very simple. Like, you have to, like, Mr. Body is murdered, and you have to figure out which of the 6 guests was responsible for the killing. You got Professor Plum, Mr. Green, Colonel Mustard, Miss Scarlet, Mrs. White, and I can't remember who the last one is, but it's still a pretty cool game nonetheless. Alright, next up we have Vegas Stakes, and this is a gambling game, and it's pretty fun if you like gambling and all. And it says on the label Super NES mouse. I think that means that it's compatible with the Super NES mouse. However, this game does work without the mouse, so I'm going under the assumption that for this game the mouse is optional but not required. I don't even have the Super NES mouse anyway. Alright, moving on to the next game, which is ESPN National Hockey Night. Another pretty cool hockey game. We've got some of the teams on here. We've got the Boston Bruins, which is Martin S. Fine 1989's favorite NHL team. We've got the Philadelphia Flyers, the LA Kings, the New York Rangers, the San Jose Sharks, the Toronto Canadiens, the Vancouver Canucks, Blackhawks, the Calgary Flames, New Jersey Devils, St. Louis Blues, and the Pittsburgh Penguins on the cover of the cartridge. So yeah, this is a pretty cool game. And then of course we've got Tetris Attack, which of course stars everyone's favorite little dinosaur, Yoshi. It's a pretty fun game. I did play this on my channel one time, and I got to the end, but I could not beat the last boss. I am gonna keep trying though. It's a pretty cool game. And then of course we've got a game that that all Super Nintendo owners definitely should have in their collection, and it's none other than Super Mario World. Now, this game is an SNES classic. And this game is way fun. You get to ride Yoshi. And there's different colored Yoshis. There's the regular green Yoshi. There's the red Yoshi. There's the blue Yoshi. I think there might be another colored Yoshi as well, but I can't remember. But this is definitely an awesome game. If you have a Super Nintendo and you do not have this game, then you seriously need to get it. But if you already have this game in your collection, then good for you. And this is another game that N-Man64 LP'd on his channel, which I really enjoyed. Yeah, so there you go, Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo. I almost said N64 in the S or something. There is also a sequel to this game, Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. I do not have that one yet, but I am looking for it. Then, of course, we've got Monopoly, which, of course, is based off the popular board game by Parker Brothers. And there's the Moneybags guy, Mr. Moneybags there on the front. And we all know how Monopoly works, so there's really no need for an explanation. Then we've got Super Bases Loaded, which is a baseball game. And it's alright. I mean, I have tried playing it, but it's a pretty difficult game. But if you like baseball and want to get this for your Super Nintendo, then I certainly, then by all means, go right ahead. I'm not going to stop you. Alright. Next up, we've got Jeopardy Deluxe Edition. Now, on the top of the label here, though, it just says Jeopardy. But on the very front, though, it says Jeopardy Deluxe. So, yeah, a little bit confusing there. But nonetheless, though, this is based off the popular game show of Jeopardy, hosted, of course, by Alex Trebek, who I met a few days ago, and he was pretty cool. Yeah, he was pretty cool. And, in fact, I asked him what his favorite tournament was on Jeopardy, and he says he likes the teen tournament. So, yeah, it's, can't go wrong with Jeopardy Deluxe Edition. I do not have the regular Jeopardy for the Super Nintendo as of yet. Alright. Moving on now to the next game in the collection, which is American Gladiators. And this, of course, based off the TV show that aired in the 90s. They do have this game on the NES, but I don't have the NES version of it. And I have tried playing this, and it's a pretty good game. Particularly if you're like a lot of muscular people. Then we've got Wheel of Fortune Deluxe Edition for the Super Nintendo, based off the popular game show Wheel of Fortune. And of course, in this game you have 4 regular rounds, the speed up round and the bonus round. And of course, whoever has the most money at the end of the game plays for a nice prize in the bonus round. This is definitely an awesome game. Not sure when the last time I played this on my channel was for a regular run, but chances are I'll probably start a new run for this at some point. Then we've got NHL 96, another hockey game. And there's Steve Eiserman on the front, and I'm not sure of the label, and I'm not sure who the New Jersey player is. Keep in mind, this game came out like 20 years ago, NHL 96. So, and I didn't really start following hockey until maybe a couple years after that. So, yeah. Alright. Next up, we've got NHL Stanley Cup, which is another hockey video game. And this one's pretty fun. Yeah, I've played this game and I like it. It's a lot of fun. And of course, we've got another great Super Nintendo game, NBA Jam. This is definitely another game you want in your collection if you have a Super Nintendo. Because trust me, you will not regret this game. I am not sure if I have this for the Sega Genesis yet. I don't think I do. I'll have to check. I'm pretty sure I don't have this for the Sega Genesis yet. But I'm definitely going to want to get this for the Sega Genesis. Then, of course, we've got the regular Wheel of Fortune game. And this one has just 3 rounds and the bonus round. There's no, like on the... This one, like I said, just says 3 rounds and then the bonus round, just like on the regular Junior and Family editions for the NES. There's no speed-up round, though, in this version. But aside from that, though, it plays exactly the same. And then, of course, we've got Jeopardy Sports Edition. And this is another Jeopardy game that's based off the popular show of Answers and Questions. But, of course, all the material in this game are sports related. And this is another cool game. I have done a run of this game, but that run, though, was a short-lived run. I did just recently start a new run of this game on the Sega Genesis. As to whether I'm going to start a new run for this game on the Super Nintendo, I'm not sure yet. And then finally, the Family Feud. And this is a really fun game too. It is kind of hard though. And to make things worse, you cannot... Like, for some reason on this game, they made the AI, they made the computers, like, really hard. And there's no difficulty setting on this, so there's no way to change it. Which sucks. But it's still a really fun game. You can do the bullseye round in this one. And of course, the first team to get to 300 points wins the game and plays fast money. And this game came out when Ray Combs was hosting the show. Steve Harvey is the current host, and he does a pretty good job. Alright, so there you have it. Those are all my Super Nintendo games. There are still a few that I am on the lookout for. Like, I want to try to get Yoshi's Island, which of course is the Super Mario World sequel. I also want to try to get all the Star Wars Super NES games, as well as The Lion King for the Super Nintendo. And maybe a few others. Alright, so there you go, folks. That's it for my Super Nintendo collection. I'll see you all again soon.